I didn't need to go to Dr. Dr. Grumpky's office that afternoon because she didn't want her chair to be wet. Instead, I mopped the floor where I spilt water. I rode home on my bike. I felt exhausted when I got home. After a shower, I walked over to Dad's shed. My arms were still shaking and aching. "Hi, Dad. How's it going?" "Edison, you're home early today. Didn't you play soccer?" "No. How's your work going? Any progress, Dad?" "Well, I told you there would be no more explosions. Yep, it's going very well, and I'm going to contact my boss and let him know about this progress. I might get my job back, and a new laboratory too, my son." "Good to hear, Dad. By the way, I've got a question. I hope you can give me the answer." "What is it? What do you want to know, my son?" "What did you do to Dr. Dr. Grumpky? Cranky Pants, if you like." Well, what do you know so far?" "Well, not much. Mum, you and Dr. Dr. Grumpky went to the same school. Dr. Dr. Grumpky bullied you. Mum was your guardian angel, and you did something to Dr. Dr. Grumpky. You and Mum moved out after that accident. That's what I know, and I want to know what that accident was. What did you do to her? Why did she hate you and Mum? And me, of course." "Edison, I'm so sorry about what's been happening to you." "Well, okay. It's an old story, as it happened when we were your age." Mum's family moved to Darkville when she was 9 due to her dad's job. At Darkville Primary School, Mum met Dad and Dr. Dr. Grumpky, who was called by her nickname Cranky Pants. Dad was a pale, weak boy who was only interested in making something new and trying lots of experiments, most of which failed. Cranky Pants was a strong, stumpy girl who bothered everybody in the class, especially Dad. Mum was brave enough to stand on my dad's side. She often protected him from the evilish Cranky Pants, who was getting worse and worse. So, Mum encouraged Dad to play a trick on her with one of his gadgets or inventions. Dad thought that the reason Cranky Pants behaved that way was because she wasn't happy at all. So Dad made a special drink, Cappuccino, for Cranky Pants, thinking she would become happy if she drank it, and hoping she would behave better afterwards. It looked nice and creamy enough to draw Cranky Pants' attention. She snatched it out of Dad's hand, drank it, and said, "I'll prove you wrong. It's not going to make me feel happy. You always fail with your experiments. You're a failure, you stupid chicken." Well, Dad failed. Cappuccino didn't make her feel happy at all. Instead, it worked some other way Dad never expected it to. She started with hiccuping. Then she started hopping as well as hiccuping. She hopped higher and higher. And faster and faster. She screamed and screamed. Ah! Then she was gone. She hopped away, far, far away. The following day, they heard that she was in the hospital and wouldn't come back for a while. That was when the term ended, and both Mum and Dad's families moved out of Darkville. They hadn't heard anything about her until now. Edison, I didn't mean to do that to her, and I never want to harm anybody with what I made. I never will, and you must remember that too. It just happened by accident. I never had a chance to say sorry to her, though. Dad, did she ever say sorry to you for what she did to you? No, but I think she needed some help at the time. I hope she's changed now, with her 2 PhDs. How do you find her, son? I couldn't answer. It was not only because she hadn't changed at all, but also she was very cruel to me, which Dad would never expect to hear. I didn't want to make him sad or worried. Thanks for telling me the story, Dad. School break is coming soon, so I'll be okay. Don't worry about me, Dad. Okay, son. I believe whatever trouble comes, you'll manage it well. And she won't go too far, so hang in there. I love you, son. I love you, Dad. I came back to my room, thinking about what I hadn't told Dad. She has gone too far. She called both Dad and me failures. I needed something good. Something that would actually work. She insulted us, and she's gone too far. I wanted to prove both my dad and I were not failures. I started making a recipe, a very good one, for Dr Grumpky. The following day was Saturday, which means Mum's shop was open and I had no school. I rode to Mum's shop on my bike. I took a shortcut. I had to ride up a hill, but I always felt great when I rode down the hill with my legs stretched out and my feet off the pedals, crying out, "Yoo-hoo!"